Ben here from Clubscraft, where we help sports coaches spend more time with their athletes. And last week we talked about intensity and how a complicated topic it is. So I would like to take this week to dive really deep into intensity and see how we can use it to improve our performance. And this is basically the first topic I want to talk about is what is the reason why we exercise. And usually it's to become more fit, but fitness in itself doesn't really mean a lot because it can mean different things for different people. If you are a bodybuilder or if you are a mountain climber, you have different perspective on what fitness means. While if you are a long distance runner or triathlete, fitness for you means something different. So you have to pick the right fitness that you want to achieve. And I will focus on the long distance events like long distance running and triathlons. So for us, the most important thing is to delay the onset of fatigue. So the longer we can work out without feeling fatigued, the better our times are and the better our overall performance is going to be. So there are basically three different things that affect how quickly are we going to get fatigued. The first one is the buildup of hydrogen ions in our blood. The second one is depletion of fuel, and the third one is simple muscle failure. So let's dive into all of these one by one. When we need energy to move around our environment, our body has two options as the sources of fuel. One is fats and the other one is carbohydrates. And if we are using carbohydrates in our body, a byproduct of the processes in our body is lactic acid. Lactic acid in itself isn't really a problem because our body deals with it pretty effectively. But if the lactic acid gets into our bloodstream, hydrogen ions bond to it and lactate is created. And as long as our body is able to flush out all those things, everything is fine. But at a certain point, at a certain intensity, the buildup of lactic acid is going to be greater than our body can flush it out. And that's when you start feeling the burn in your legs, in your arms, whatever you're working with, and you are going to have to slow down a little bit. For endurance athletes, this isn't really the case most of the time, but sometimes you are either going to have to go up a steep hill or you do some quick surges to catch up to a group in front of you, and you will feel temporarily a little fatigued. But if you get back into your endurance zone or endurance intensity, the fatigue will go away, the body will flush out everything out, and you will be fine. The way you can teach your body to be better prepared for the lactic acid as well as flush out everything more quickly is through different high intensity workouts, which we will cover later in the week. Fats are the primary source for fuel in our bodies, but as the intensity increases, we have to turn to carbohydrates to keep us moving forward. And at any given point, a well-trained athlete has anywhere around 1,500 to 2,000 calories in glycogen stored in their muscles or in their liver. And you can use up to 1,000 calories per hour during high intense workouts or races, and around 600 to 700 of those calories will probably come from carbohydrates. So if your event is lasting longer than, let's say, 2 to 3 hours, you will hit a point where you have depleted all of your glycogen reserves, and you will hit that dreaded brick wall, which a lot of marathon runners and long distance runners experience, where it just becomes impossible to move forward. This fuel depletion can be mitigated by training at moderately intense intensity levels. This will teach your body to conserve a lot of those glycogen reserves you have in your body, as well as teach the body to run more economically, to use the energy it has more efficiently. The third reason for fatigue is muscle failure, and we don't really know why it happens. There are a few different theories. One is that it's just a coping mechanism of our nervous system, which wants to prevent damage to our bodies, so it just stops muscle contraction altogether. There is another theory that says that it is due to a chemical imbalance between the muscles and the nerves at the connection point, and that signals don't flow as efficient as they should, and that's why you start feeling cramps and you're simply not able to move forward. And one of the ways you can combat this is by engaging in moderately intense activities, which will stress your fast twitch muscles to a point where it can start displaying characteristics of slow twitch muscles, which we use during endurance exercises like long distance running or cycling. So that's it for today. This is just a brief overview of the different ways we are going to look into fatigue. You can read more about it with the link that's posted below. And tomorrow we are going to tackle on the way we measure different aspects of intensity by defining some physiological thresholds that are present in each and every one of us. So until then, bye bye.